What's up, everybody? My next guest is one of the top pound-for-pound MMA prospects in the DMV. He is Tapology's #1 ranked featherweight contender in Virginia, and he'll be fighting very soon, August 16th. We'll be going up against James Huffman. We have Noah Kiszka on the program today. Noah, what's up? Thanks for being here.
What's up, my man? It's good to be here. Good to be close to a fight, you know?
Yes, sir. Well, first and foremost, as I introduced you, and I introduced you properly, #1 featherweight in the state of Virginia. And we're not fighting at featherweight now. We're going down. We're fighting at a catchweight, 140 pounds. Things have been going so well for you. Why the change?
So I was gonna be making the move down to bantamweight for my pro debut, and had a fight locked in for August 9th. Or no, I had it July 19th is actually when I was supposed to fight. I was supposed to fight Matt Santos in Pittsburgh for my pro debut. That was at 35, and I was like on weight, ready to go, pretty close to weight, and then pretty close to fight week. The card got scratched, so scrambling to find a new fight. I just wanted to fight as soon as possible. I feel like I've been on the shelf, but I've been in the gym every single day getting better. So I just wanted to fight as soon as possible. Things were looking for September, and then Chris the Rocket Rollins and my coach linked up, and eventually I got this opportunity. So it is at 140 because it was a little bit shorter notice, and just pulled myself out of a weight cut. So yeah, 140 worked better. I took it, and yeah, we're here.
Has this been a conversation you've been having with your coaches for a while? Like, eyeing this move down to 35? Like, can you tell me a little bit, like, what prompted the change to go down to a lower weight class?
So I was at 35 for one of my fights as an amateur, and I was never just too big of a 45. I was always making weight, like, excuse me. I was always making weight, like, relatively easy. So we knew this would always be our course of action once I turned pro. And yeah, we just kind of like followed the plan. I got a nutritionist, and it was just a couple little changes in my diet, a couple extra things I had to do during the day, and I could make that weight. So it's more mental than it is physical, I would say.
Well, you're a guy that you're relatively new into this whole MMA thing. You've experienced a ton of success already, and now you're getting ready to make your professional debut. I know as a young guy, you ask your coaches for a lot of guidance. You ask a lot of the vets in your gym for a lot of guidance, but I'm sure there are a lot of other people, a lot of the younger guys that look up to you. What advice would you give anybody who's thinking about going pro as to timing or if they're ready or not?
I would say just the biggest thing is to take a look at your life and see what are the things that you think that you couldn't live without, and then try to start making sacrifices, because this game is it's cutthroat, man. It's no one cares what you're going through. No one cares if you feel tired. No one cares if just no one cares. So this game is tough. You got to be able to go through practically anything, and keep your head forward and keep moving. And I think that's what makes me so good, is I've just been able to continue to do that over time. And if I could give advice, it'd just be, the storms will come, but just keep going.
Well, you've gone to war plenty of times throughout your amateur career, and this is a question I haven't asked in a while, but I'd be curious to ask you: of all of your AMI bouts that you had, which one is your favorite?
Oh, man, I've had some battles for sure. I think that the fight with obviously my favorite fight is probably always going to be my first fight. There's nothing like winning your first fight, especially I fought a real high level dude for my amateur debut, so that'll always take the spot. But second would be probably Hokama. It was the first time I got really hurt in a fight. It's the first time I had to get up off a stool after a round where my lungs are burning and I can't move my arms. So probably that fight, because I found out a lot more about myself in a fight like that than I did in any of the dudes that I ran through, if that makes sense.
Well, we have a pro bout here in a few weeks, and here in Virginia, rules aren't going to change too much. You're accustomed to that, but the big change here is obviously we're talking about 15 minutes versus 9 minutes. Can you tell me a little bit about how you've been preparing your body for that?
I feel like I've been preparing my body for this since the day I started. My first training session, I had to do 3 5-minute rounds with a dude who was pro at the time, and I had never trained before. So the time limit, it's only a thing if you make it a thing. I feel like if you're at this level, you're thinking about going pro, all of your training is pretty much done at a 5-minute pace, and you're practicing fives with pros. And so I don't think it matters too much to me. I grapple 5-minute rounds every single day, multiple rounds, and then all my sparring's always been five, so not too much unless you make it a thing.
Well, here we go. We have a real tough opponent teed up for you. His name's James Huffman. He's a guy with a ton of experience, and he'll also be making his professional debut. Break down this guy for me. What is it that you see about him? What are some of your initial thoughts about the matchup?
My initial thoughts about the matchup. I mean, yeah, you look at the guy's record; he's experienced for sure. I know you're not supposed to like read into records too much, but that's one thing it can show you is their experience level. So, there's definitely tons of respect for him and all of the times he's made that walk. He's went 3 full rounds plenty of times, and he's a good opponent. And I think we'll have some good exchanges and some good moments in there.
Well, Noah, I haven't spoken to James yet, but I will pretty soon. And so this is just my hypothesis. This is what I'd be thinking if I were James. I want to get this guy up against the cage. I want to get hooks on him, and then I want to try to trip him and bring him down into my world and use my jiu-jitsu because I'm pretty good at that. Why is that not going to work against you?
I I think you got to look at the gym I'm coming from before you can think about a game plan like that. I know I may only be a blue belt, but I grapple twice a day when I'm not in camp. In camp, I grapple every single day, roll every single day, do extra drills. My main training partner 3 4 times a week is the #1 purple belt in the world. So uh, I would say if you're planning on coming in to use jujitsu against me, you probably already lost.
All right, perfect. Well, Noah, and I'm going to flip that question on its head a little bit. Like when you look at your game, you look at James, all due respect to him and, what he brings to the table as far as a challenge goes. Where do you feel like you have like the biggest advantage over your opponent for this fight?
Just being the more well-rounded fighter. I think that's what makes me a lot different than most of the grapplers coming in and a lot of the other fighters, and whether it's in this area or the whole country. I truly believe I'm the most well-rounded that you can get at this level, and I'm only going to keep getting better. My striking is coming along, and I can strike with whoever's in front of me, and then I've always been able to grapple with whoever's in front of me. So yeah, just I'm the more well-rounded guy in this fight, and most of my fights after this.
Noah, this may be a bout that you're taking on short notice, but this is something that you've been working your ass off for a long time coming. A lot of years of sacrifice and dedication have gone into this moment. And you walk into that cage on August 16th, your foot hits that canvas. You're officially going to become a professional mixed martial artist. Can you tell me, like, is that just kind of like an out of body experience for you here in a few weeks?
Man, it's kind of unbelievable. Like, it's like you put so much into it, and then I try not to think too much about. Oh, it's like my pro debut, put too much pressure on myself, but it's kind of wholesome. I think if you know me on a personal level, you know how serious I take this. You know everything that I put into this. I've only hugged my mom in person 2 times this year, just because I've been away training, ready to take a fight. And that's only a weekend away. So that those weekends that I could go home, I'm not. I'm staying at the gym. I'm staying training, just waiting for a call. So it's wholesome. It's deserved.
Well, obviously there are a lot of people that are working with you behind the scenes to making sure you're ready to go on August 16th. Who've been some of your main training partners for this one?
The homie Colin Bauer, for sure. Shout out to him. He's always there helping me with whatever I need with my grappling. I have all of my MMA teammates at Bowerhouse MMA. Jonathan Maradiaga is actually my main sparring partner at Bowerhouse, so I'll give him some love for sure because he's going to be right behind me going pro. And then I also train at Kaizen like 3 times a week, and get a lot of work with the boys down there like Sufain, Sandro. So all the guys my size at Kaizen are all constantly leveling me up too.
And Noah, I'm gonna actually give the mic over to you. If there's anyone that you wanted to shout out or any sponsors, anything like that that you need to talk about before I let you go, let's do it.
I just want to say thank you to all my sponsors. I know it's I wish I could have gotten to perform for all of you guys in July. Things happen, the game happens, but it's finally like almost here. The day is almost coming, and without your guys' support, I wouldn't have been able to be as open with my training and able to do things like this. Also, my family and my girlfriend, my biggest supporters for sure. They sacrifice just as much as I do, and then just everyone at Bowerhouse MMA, from training partners, teammates, coaches, to all of the parents of the kids that I coach. Even all the kids that I coach, they all inspire and pour into me. So I'm just excited to perform for them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, August 16th, that'll be the day. Rocket Combat Sports 21. Make sure you check it out. No, appreciate the time. Look forward to fight night.
Thank you, brother. You too.